Hello friends, this is for June assignment cycle 2023, Sum 3 ITM Indian Foreign Trade. Special thanks to Shreya for sharing these questions. It's a scenario based question. Scenario is domestically well established brand called Hand and Craft, which is an Indian handcraft manufacturing company called INDC, Indicraft IC, involved in handmade products like carpets, carry bags, sofa cover, etc. with natural fiber like jute and coir. They were well-known brands in domestic market and they were exporting their products through merchant exports. However, now they decided to go for a geographical expansion through foreign trade into European Union. If you are ahead of their international business with IC, your task will be to establish the company as well as their indie craft brands in the above mentioned market. You can pick any one country from the EU. So now we are going to solve the questions based on this scenario. Let's see the first question. Discuss on market identification process with respect to the Indocraft brands considering any one country from European Union. You need to discuss on regulatory requirements. How do you plan to proceed with the market survey and major non-tariff barriers and competition? Okay, so the first one we can see in chapter 2, page number 32. This one, modern theory for international trade. So you can get little information from these theories like let me just see this one. So here we are telling regulatory. You need to discuss regulatory requirements. How do you proceed with market survey? So we have to understand regulatory requirements, market survey, non-tariff barriers, okay, and competition. These four factors we have to try to find out the information for answering. Okay, so here you have information, but they're not exactly the straightforward. So if you want little more information, you have it from the other theories as well. So there are theories here. Then second one is choice of strategy in the foreign market. 150 page number. So choices of strategy in foreign market. So again, you have to see, understand, and then you have to write it here. There is not much of a straightforward questions, answers you will be getting it. For the barriers, non-tariff barriers, chapter 9. So here barriers in foreign trade. In this you have non-tariff barriers, a little information here, and export restrictions. The second one is non-tariff barriers, what has been mentioned, 9.2. Tariff barriers, codes, regulations based on. So we have a little information. Overall, if I have to say, we don't have a very straightforward information in the textbook. But when you see this, you'll be able to understand what you have to write it. So look for little external sources. There is some organization kind of information, then you can just take up that and write it for this answer. Okay. Question 2. Once you have finalized on the target market, how do you plan to work out the market entry strategy for the chosen target market? Okay. There are ways of entering the markets. Here you have a good information. Yeah, ways to enter the foreign market. So there are like different ways of entering, how you are entering kind of. Now, okay, so here you have a good amount of information since already IC is already looking for merchant export. So you can also connect the dot with that and this kind of information, then you'll be able to write your 10 marks question here. Question 3. How big is the total market size of the handcraft export from India, and what are the regulatory requirements for handcraft products export to EU countries? Then part B is, what is your suggestions to IC as a head of their international business? Should they continue with merchant export of their brand or discontinue merchant export? Give your logical response either way. So this one again we have like you have to go ahead with external sources to get this information, like what is the size of the export from India, and regulatory requirements in the EU, some of the like European Union timber regulations, then reach is for the what this is for, this is the standard, it is RECH. So this is a standard which is applicable for the products, like if there are any lead contents or there are certain restricted materials in the components, they are not allowed in EU. So you also have to go through with this kind of certificates or apply this while you manufacture any handicraft products. So such things you have to get it from external sources. In the book you have a very bits and pieces, but not exactly where you can look for a complete information. Second one is again it is asking about your opinion, whether you want to go ahead with the merchant export of the brand or discontinue this one. So you can support either continue or discontinue merchant export with your information. If you continue, what are the disadvantages? If you discontinue, what are the advantages? So that you have to do it. So here you have bit of a work to do. Do a little research and then come back with answers here. Okay. Thank you so much.